I remember my Grandad Harry worked in a timber yard most of his life. He wore a leather pad on his shoulder to protect him and keep his coat dry. The other blokes respected Harry and the younger ones called him Mr. Page, and he could carry and stack that timber as good as the lads half his age. I fell on my way home from school one day. I must have been 7 or 8. Knocked out my teeth and cut my chin. There was blood all over the place. Somebody ran for my Grandad and he carried me half a mile home. I still have that scar to prove it in the memory of not being alone. When he went out in the evenings, he was always very smart. For a couple of pints of best mild beer that was always very dark. Black overcoat, muffler and a clean cap. My gran brushed him down before he went out to make sure there was nought on his back. Well, Harry was quite tall and lean, while my gran was short and stout. But my dad said that when they argued, they would often fight and shout. He saw Grandad grab the poker once, so my gran grabbed the poker too. And when they'd finished fighting, it was all twisted and bent like a corkscrew. At 17, he got me a job at the timber yard, driving trucks, and I never looked back. Most nights, after work, I'd call to see him. I know he'd look forward to that chat. I'd give him a shave if I needed it. He didn't move much from the chair. And he'd rub his chin when I thought he'd finished and say, "Hang on, you've missed a bit there." Well, I worked at that timber yard for quite some time after Grandad Harry had passed on. And I worked with old men that were youngsters back then, when my Grandad was getting on. But I never heard anybody badmouth him through all the years as he started to age. He had their respect right up to the end, and they still called him Mr. Page. Thank you very much.